Are you tired of asking your clients for the business info every time you send out a contract in PandaDoc? Let me show you a smarter way. Hi there, I'm Andre, I'm a freelancer, and I use PandaDoc to send contracts to my clients. However, I used to find it frustrating having to stop and ask for their company details before sending the contract. So I started playing around and I find a way to make my contracts dynamic. Now, I'm letting them fill in their own business information while they sign. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to do that, plus how to create a contract template from scratch if you're new to PandaDoc. Let's dive right into it. So we have templates let's go to create new. I'm going to show you how to create a template from one of the templates they provide, okay? So I picked this one, service contract template, and we'll hit add item. We can call this contract template, freelancing contract template, okay? And yeah, we don't need to touch this for now. We'll just hit continue. Now that we're in, I want to delete most of this. I'm going to delete this page. Okay, I'm going to keep this because for the most part, we're just going to duplicate pages. And I don't like the footer either. So I'm going to delete the footer, this one and this one. I can leave the divider. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to keep page 1. We'll delete the rest, but we want to keep the one at the bottom. But okay, let's delete the pages we don't need. So delete. Okay, let's check. Okay, we'll still have a few to go. Okay, delete. Okay, and delete this one as well. Okay, so we're left with 2 pages, and let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and start creating the template. I have here a document. This is my own contract. This is what I'm using. I'll leave the doc in the description. You can use it if you want. You just have to tweak a few things around and you should be good to go. So let's grab the first part, and here's what I do. I like to copy it in a new tab, like just open a new tab. And no, I don't like how this shows up. Let me go back. I'm going to copy again. If you have a notepad, or notepad would be preferable. You can paste the text you're copying, so this part, and if you just paste it in a notepad and then you copy it again, that is going to clear up the formatting. So when you paste it, as you can see, the text is oxygen and the font size is 16. So this is where the client will add their own information, and this is where you'll add your own info. So you have to replace everything that's highlighted with yellow with your business info. Okay, so let's move on. And yeah, we have services. You guys probably can see, but I do have a new tab where I just simply paste the services text, and then I come back to PandaDoc to paste just to clear up formatting. Okay, and it's just a new browser tab. I'm not doing anything else. Okay, and then I paste. So let's speed up the process a little bit. Okay, and for bullets, what you're gonna do is the same thing. So you can paste the text, but we're just gonna make it a bullet list. And now if you hit enter, you got a second bullet. So now you go into the template, copy each line one by one, and enter, and do the same thing with all these bullets. If you've been using Google Docs, it shouldn't be that complicated for you to work in PandaDocs. Okay. Now, what you can see is that the page will break in, the PDF page will break here. So there are two things you can do. If you don't care about the page break, you can continue to add your text, but the text will not appear here. When you generate the PDF, it's going to appear on the next page. What I'm going to do is I will just remove the last bullet, and actually I'm going to remove this one too, because it might break. So I'm going to duplicate this element. I'll grab it in the page below, and I'll continue to add my bullets. So I've added 3, and I have 3 more. Okay, now we have a bit more text. So you can hit double enter, and you can paste that text as well, but without bullet. Moving on to the next category of expenses. And make sure you read this document. Don't just copy it for yourself. Okay. So I'm realizing I should have done something here. I'm going to duplicate this page, and I'm just going to remove these elements. Yeah. To make it easier for myself to fill in the contract. So expenses, I did copy this, and now we're on point 4. So just duplicate these sections because they're going to repeat. Most of this work is just copy and paste. And we haven't gotten yet to the fun part. So now I'm going to break this page because it's likely going to break around here, and if I add one more text element, it's probably going to get close to that point. So I might just do it now. So I'm going to duplicate this page. I will delete this one because I want to start with the new point 6. And I think I can move on to the last page and add the last point. So entire agreement, blah, blah, blah. Okay, add some spacing here. Parties. Okay. Parties, so 1 space here and 1 space here. Okay, and here we will add this. You can remove this. Service provider and your name. So you can just hard code it. If it's always going to be your name, you can just simply hard code it. Or the name of your company actually would be, that's what I'm using here. But okay, let's do this. Yeah, I'm going to say name of company. Okay, and on the right we will have client. And I'll show you in a bit what we're going to add there, because we want them to fill in the name themselves. We're assuming we don't have that information. So when we're sending the contract, they're going to be responsible of adding that information in here. Okay, so let's start working our magic. What we're gonna do here is we will add some text field elements. Let's create a new recipient. Actually, we're not gonna create a new recipient because it's asking me for all this info which I don't want to add. So we will grab a text field, okay, and we will try to copy it as close as possible to the dots you're seeing. Yeah, maybe something like this. Okay. I'm going to move it up a little bit. And what I would recommend is type in just double check the alignment. So I don't like what this looks like. It's the text is slightly above the line I'm putting it towards. So I want to make it look natural. Okay, this looks a lot better. So from here, what you want to do is you want to grab this all the way to the right. The reason why we're doing this is because we don't know how long their business name is or their address and so on is. And if our box isn't big enough, the text will show up in a different line or in different lines, and it's not going to look good. So by dragging this all the way to the right, we're guaranteeing that we're keeping the same text. We're keeping the text on the same line. There's no way their business name is going to be this big. So from here, duplicate the text box, make it slightly smaller. Let's see. Okay. I want this to be right under this one. And I guess I have to make it smaller. This is the tedious process, but it's going to be worth it. Okay, checking what it looks like. It looks fine. Let's leave it populated with text. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate this one again. I have to drag it down a little bit more. Move it here. Test. Okay. As you can see, this one is slightly below our text line, but don't worry about it. Just try to make sure that all your text boxes have the right size and that they're right below each other. We're going to duplicate again. We need to drag this slightly below the other box. Okay, have to make it just a bit smaller. Okay. I think I have to make this just a little bit smaller. Make sure you're not dragging them downwards, because that is going to increase uh, the the height of the text box, which we don't want. Okay, so be careful with that. I think this is good enough. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it like this, and we'll see how it generates on the contract. Sometimes you will not be able to see accurate enough how things look like until you generate a contract, and then you can make some final adjustments to the template. Test. We'll leave it. I think there's a bit too much spacing here, but let's leave it like this. Okay, and last but not least, the phone. Okay. Test. All right, so we need to fix the alignment, right? Each text box should be in line with the text itself. So how can we accomplish this? Well, we are going to highlight the entire thing, and we will change the line spacing. We'll make it custom, and we'll try 1.7. Okay, 1.7 seems to be too much. Actually, hold on a second. Let's try this. Yeah, disregard what I just did. Let's try 1.6. And here we will probably have to drag this just a little bit more downwards. Oh, you see, I'm just finding out that some boxes didn't have the minimum height. So now I kind of want to check them all to make sure that none of them have more height than they should, because that's going to mess up with my alignment. So I want to move this slightly downwards, and do the same thing with this one. Okay. This is pretty good for the most part. I still don't like that it's not quite perfectly aligned, but let me see if I can do, you know what, this is good enough. This is actually good enough. Okay, so there's one more box we need to create, which is the box at the bottom. And one other thing is, yeah, don't get caught into perfection. This is what I'm guilty of. Sometimes I want to make it look perfect. It doesn't always work. You could try to play with, the font size and whatnot, and the best way would be to just leave the boxes the way they are. Don't touch the boxes, just play with the text around them, because otherwise you're going to make it very difficult for yourself. But I think this is good enough. We'll see how it generates in the document, and then if needed, I might make some slight adjustments, but it's good enough. Okay, now here we'll add another text field for the client. Like I said, they're going to have to add their own. What is going on? Oh, there it is. They will have to add their business name. And I want to make this as aligned as possible with the text on the left. Now drag this as much as possible to the right. And all that's left is to convert this into a template that we can use. So let's go ahead and click this button and convert to template. Okay, now we want to clean it up a little. So we'll remove all this text. Make sure you're not leaving text there. Is very important. Otherwise, it's not going to work for the client. They will not be able to add any info there. Okay, now that it's cleaned up, we want to set the roles. Okay, template roles. So I would rename this to me, and I'll add another role, a second role for actually let me go back. Yeah, here I'll add the second role, which is going to be called client. I also want to set the signing order to me first, and then I will assign these fields to client. Okay, and these ones I'm going to assign to myself. These ones will be assigned to client. Okay, perfect. So now we can simulate a contract. I'm going to use this template. I'm going to leave this name. I'll add myself as one recipient and another email of mine at gmail.com. Okay, continue. Okay, now we can send via email. We're gonna hit do not replace, variables will be displayed. This is very important, so make sure you're going with the last option. Otherwise, it's going to break our dynamic variables. So hit continue. Continue again. Here you can add an optional message if you want, but I don't want to, so I'll just hit send contract. Okay, perfect. Now, because I'm the first signer, this is going to prompt me to fill out and sign, which I'm going to do. So I'll do that. Start. I'm going to add my signature and a date, current date. Finish. And now we're waiting on the client to sign. So this is what the client will see, like, hey, Andre or whoever sent you a freelancing contract. They're gonna open the document and they will start filling, basically. Okay, so we're seeing that all these fields are required, right? And even the ones at the bottom. Let's hit start. Test, 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 test. Next. Test, signature, accept and sign, current date, and we're done. So you see how the client will go through and add all the info that we need on the contract. We don't have to ask for it. We're just basically templatizing the contract, sending them the contract, and they'll do the rest. Okay, so once that's done, the client can download a signed PDF from here, or information will be sent to both parties saying that the document has been completed by all participants. You can actually open the doc once it's done, and you can download a copy. Okay, so you see these ones, the variables we have, they're a bit off here, but honestly, I think it's good enough. Like I said, you can probably make some slight adjustments, but honestly, it doesn't bother me when I see this. So that's it in a nutshell. I hope you found this video valuable. I hope this makes you more efficient. Like I said, I'm using this for my freelancing services, but I think this can be adapted to other businesses. You can think of what you could make dynamic and then just modify your contracts as such. Thanks for watching, and I'm wishing you a wonderful day.